China has just released its economic data for the first 3 quarters of this year. Based on these figures, is China's economy doing well? What can we expect for the rest of the year? Cao Shufeng talked to an economic expert earlier to find out some answers to these questions.
China just released its economic data for the first 3 quarters of 2024. How would you assess the current state of the Chinese economy and any particular figures that stood out to you the most?
Better than expected. Why I should say that? Because the GDP figure is already at 4.8 in the past 9 months. That the general picture is quite good. And another thing is that related to the people's life is the employment rate. I think employment rate is at the moment is stable. So in my opinion, that the whole picture of China's situation is that China's economy today is already rising up from bottom.
What do you think are some of the obstacles that Chinese economy is facing right now?
I should say frankly, there are many obstacles that are ahead of us. But I think these obstacles are still within our expectation. That can be solved by right policy. As we always mention, that domestic demand is quite weak. This is what we have to focus in, how to improve. And the second is the external influence negative that the Western countries now, as we know, they're still trying to decoupling from China.
I think the world is very interested on whether China would able to achieve its set of economic goals, including, the 5% annual GDP growth set for 2024. In your opinion, judged based on the current situation, to what extent is that target still attainable?
As today's briefing, I think there are some advantages and favorable conditions that for us to achieve our final target. The first, or the overall policy is very clear to make powerful support to the macroeconomy, especially in the financing sections. And the second, also in the major industrial sections that we put our main efforts to stimulate all the output. And the third, China has done its best to improve its relations and international society, because China is not alone to develop the economy. We need the international cooperation. I'm also very optimistic that by end of this year, we'll be sure that to fulfill our target, even 5.1%